welcome to video 3 out of 5 of me making my wedding dress. This video is about me making the veil, adding lace to the skirt, and continuing on with the corset, including fixing some things I might have messed up on. Here is part 3 of how I made my wedding dress. Wow, I kind of am getting bad at recording when I'm doing things. I went to the store today to get some stuff that I needed for the veil. That's what I'm working on right now. But also earlier today, I had my friend come over and she helped me out with fitting the top part to look right. And so that's just right there right now. I haven't actually sewn it yet. It's just pinned together. I was about to do that when I accidentally stabbed myself with a pin and got some blood on it, but luckily I caught it right away, and so I was able to wash it out with cold water, and that wasn't a big deal because it went straight away. But then also while my friend was here, she helped me cut out the lace. It's over there. Oh, right there, over there. She helped me cut out the lace for the skirt, so it kind of goes up in little points around the hemline to be trim for the skirt. But I'll show you that. It looks really good, but I'll show you that more in detail when I'm actually starting to pin and sew that on, which I probably won't do until Saturday, because then my friend can come over and help with that as well. But right now I'm just doing the veil. The other day I cut out, it was a piece of tulle that was 54 by 50, so that it would be about, folded in half, about 25 inches, so about to my waist or elbows. I think it's a bit longer than that because tiering it makes it so the longer layer is longer, plus I'm kind of short. So, but I've been working on that. Basically all I did was I spent a good amount of time sewing ribbon onto the veil around to make a nice good trim. And then I just barely made a big long basting line right there so I could gather it. So it's gathered, and then I'm gonna sew it so it stays gathered, and then put it on this. And then honestly that's it. I might add some lace onto it later, but that's last priority. I mean, this isn't even the biggest priority right now, but for some reason I just wanted to work on the veil. So almost got that done, and it's working. I hope I have enough time, but it's working. Okay, so my friend came over today and she helped me with flattening the top against the sides of the corsets, and so I sewed the satin and lace to the corset that's over here, right there. I mean, it looks, can you see that? Right there. It looks pretty much the same, it's just sewn together. The big thing is that we got a lot done on the skirt today, is we pinned all of the lace. It's not sewn on, but we pinned all of the lace around the edge of the skirt. It's looking super pretty, and now I just have to spend a billion hours sewing it on. That's gonna be fun, but we're making good progress. It's been a minute since I recorded. I guess it was just yesterday that from the last one my friend was here and we pinned that. But the rest of yesterday I did a little bit more. You can see, if you want to see up closer, this is the front. But so what I mainly did yesterday was I spent a lot of time getting the eyelets in. The problem was that since this fabric is so thick, it took a lot of effort. It took 3 or 4 hours to get all 22 of the eyelets in. It was kind of crazy. I was a little frustrated at first because it wasn't working out how I wanted it to, but eventually I was able to get that done. And then today I made the underlay, so when it's laced up, that'll cover my back where there's the gap. And then I also, today, you can't really see, there's not much of a difference in what you can see, but it feels different, was I inserted the boning. So that was another thing I did, was I cut it to the right length and ironed it a little bit so it would be straight, and inserted the boning here and in these parts. One problem is though that I don't have enough of the plastic boning, I think it's made out of, to do, because boning also goes on either side of the eyelets, and since I made it longer than the actual corset, and I think it maybe calculated it wrong, I don't have enough of the plastic boning, so I'm using the leftover boning from my hoop skirt, but the problem is I don't really have anything good to cut it with, and so I'm waiting for that step because my mom and sister are coming over today, and I told my mom to bring some nice wire cutter crap that hopefully I'll be able to cut the boning with. That'll make that nice. When it laces up, it'll stay in place. I'm trying to remember what else I did yesterday. I think it was just the eyelets and kind of laying things out and pinning this. And then today, what I moved on to once I realized that I needed my mom's materials was I started going on the skirt again, and it looks pretty much the same as before, because before it was just pinned. Now I'm sewing with transparent thread all the way around to the bottom to keep the bottom in place, and then after that I'm gonna have to sew like around every single portion of the lace. So this is like a nice kind of boring, time consuming part of it, but it's gonna look so good after that. Like, it's already looking really good, and so that's what I was working on. There was one hiccup there, was that the thread is so thin, it kind of just like flies everywhere, and you have to have it laid out like coming out of the spool right, and my sewing machine doesn't actually have a vertical thing to hold a spool, and so I had to make one. I literally just taped a paintbrush onto the back of my sewing machine, because that way it makes it so it doesn't get tangled when it comes off of the spool. And after that, it's been working just fine. I was just kind of concerned at first because it was just tangling and like it wouldn't do anything. I did finish the veil, and I didn't mention that in the last video. It's there. It looks pretty much the same. It's just tied to the comb. I pinned a piece of lace onto it, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm actually going to sew that on, because I need a second opinion about how the lace looks, whether it looks good or not, because it kind of folds on itself, and so you can't really see it that well. But other than that, I've made good progress. It's just everything takes quite a while, but it's coming along, so that's good. Hi, so I got a fair amount of stuff done today and last night after I recorded. Can you hand me my veil? I mentioned that I pinned lace onto it. I sewed it on, and it looks pretty good. And then I mentioned that before I had gone all the way around the bottom edge of the lace, but I have to go around the top edge too. I went over the top edge of one portion of it, which is one of the shorter portions too, and so I'm probably about like half done with putting the lace on the skirt, but that's just super time consuming. But since I had my mom and my sister here today, I enlisted their help, because holding up the corset to my body is apparently like a 3-person job, and so I held up the front while my sister held the shoulders, and at that point it was laced up in the back, and my mom pinned the sides so I could know where to sew them. And that actually, that took a long time to actually perfect where I wanted it, but eventually that led to me sewing the side seams. I got them sewn right here, and it's looking good. There's still, a few more steps that I have to do. Right now I am going to sew some casing onto the side seams, because I will put some more of the plastic boning in there. And then also right now my mom is going to get my steel boning cut, because I have to have that on the front and the back ones, and the wire cutters she brought were not sharp enough. So that's fun, but it's coming along nicely. I really hope I finish it soon, because right now it is Monday and bridals are on Saturday, and my goal was to have this done yesterday. I mean, that was not even my optimistic goal. That was my normal goal, to have it done yesterday. And because I hope I have enough time this week. I hope I'm not too stressed trying to finish it out. But I think I can, because I have a whole few more days, but I don't want to be doing anything last minute because that's stressful. But yeah, it's going good.